Hi everyone, welcome to what I'm prepping today. So it was freeze dryer day, and this right here is 134 grams, which prior to freeze drying was 41.5 ounces, 4.5 cups of my veggie mix that I make for my dogs, and yes, I would eat it. All it is yam, zucchini, apples, and garlic. So there was 4.5 cups per tray, but the bag wasn't big enough, and I like to use these more manageable sized half-gallon bags rather than gallon-sized bags. So I put 2 cups in each bag. I'll end up with 9 bags by just measuring out 2 cups, and then I'm putting the extra pieces on the plate, which at the end should actually be 2 cups. And since my oxygen absorbers come in a pack of 20, and I like to use the whole pack at one time instead of resealing it, which you can do, what I do is I keep things like tea bags around or spices that I can make enough of to use the rest of the oxygen absorbers. So this is how I figure out the weight and how much goes in each bag. I don't use a measuring cup. I weigh it, and the one tray was, what is that? The one tray was 134 grams, and I know that that's 4.5 cups. So you just divide. So that's 29.77. So 30 grams is a cup. And then the next tray, each tray will weigh different. It's crazy. You can get them exactly correct, exactly the same, and they'll still weigh different freeze dried. The second tray was 126 grams. So that'll be 28 grams for a cup. It's not that big of a difference, but if you're doing that many, I don't know. I just like it to be accurate. So I started this batch. It was batch 188 on 5/8. And yes, I know today is 5/19. So this is how I did it and what was in each recipe. There was 1.5 pounds of cooked yams, 1.5 pounds of raw zucchini, 8 ounces of apple, and 1/4 cup of minced garlic in each recipe, and then that goes on a tray. Then I had a lot of issues here with this batch. So at 21 hours in, it told me it couldn't achieve a vacuum, and it says to check the drain valve and check the door seal, which I did. But I just hit the start button and it started back up. But then at 22, almost 23 hours in, it did the same thing again. So what I did was I opened the drain valve just to make sure, and it did release the pressure. So it was achieving a vacuum, just apparently not enough. So after it said that it needed a pump cool down at 22 hours and 50 minutes in, which was, wait, how did that go? Oh my Lanta, really? All right, I don't want to start the whole video over, so please bear with me, and I don't think I can edit out anything yet. I don't know how to do that. Maybe I will. Okay, so after this start right here, 22:43, at 22:50 I restarted it, and then it said it needed a cool down. So I just let it cool down, and I went to bed. At 32 hours and 26 minutes in, I checked it. The pump was cold. I had the same message again. I looked. There was no oil in the sight glass. That doesn't mean there's no oil in the pump. It just means it's really low. So I added oil, and then I realized the drain valve was open because of back here when I had checked it. So yeah, this was all operator error. In the beginning, I wouldn't say operator error, but then again, maybe it was, because what had happened once before is when it says it can't achieve a vacuum and you check what it tells you to check, the drain valve and the door seal, it's actually the fuel nozzle knob for the pump that is loose. So it has to be pretty tightened down. And I'm thinking that because I added oil and really didn't change anything else, that was my entire problem in the beginning. So then at 35 hours and 50 minutes in, there was a power failure. Yeah. So yes, you can see here that had I not added stupid amounts of time, which I'm going to cover that up because that's really embarrassing, but I was gardening. This batch would have taken 86.5 hours with all these issues. Without these issues, it probably would have taken half that. So that's just me, just adding time. And I've had people ask me, does adding all that time mess with my electric bill? And honestly, I don't know. We changed from incandescent to fluorescent light bulbs. That dropped my bill. And then we changed from fluorescent to LEDs. Mostly, I still have to finish that. We run air conditioners. We have electric heat. So I send the power company $250 a month, whether they want it or not, unless my credit balance, which is this, gets super high. So you can see I had a $120 balance, credit balance. I sent them $250. I had a $370 credit balance. My actual electric consumption was $157.41. And so then I had a credit balance of only $213. This is what they say my actual readings were there. And that's how many kilowatts I used. Honestly, on a national average or anything, I don't understand whether this is higher than average, not as high, or not as good. And here is my average usage. So they've actually, all my readings are actual. I guess February was a high month because it was cold. Everything is actual readings because now we have the smart meter. And I've heard people say that, their electric bill goes up outrageously after they've gotten the smart meter, but I did not find that at all. Maybe it seemed like it started going up, but, well, no, it didn't. They were still estimating it because we got that last summer. But that's it. I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'd like to see that drop down a lot lower. But for me right now, it's affordable. And so that's it. Okay. I can't think of anything else that I forgot. Sorry about the inability to edit. And everybody have an amazing day. And thank you so much for watching.